What if I told you that your brain can't actually tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something you physically experience? Imagine standing on stage in front of thousands of people. Your palms sweat, your heart races, your throat tightens, even if it's only happening in your mind. That's the power of visualization. It feels so real, your brain believes it is real. For centuries, people have whispered about manifestation as if it were magic, something mystical, almost too good to be true. They called it the law of attraction, positive energy, or the universe responding. And for just as long, skeptics rolled their eyes and labeled it as nothing more than wishful thinking. But here's the truth. Manifestation isn't just a spiritual practice. Science is uncovering exactly why it works. And it all starts in your brain. Your mind is not a passive observer of your life. It is the architect, the filter, and the director of your reality. When you visualize a goal, whether it's landing your dream job, finishing a marathon, or building the life you've always wanted, you're not just daydreaming. You're programming your brain to search for opportunities, to filter information, and to create behaviors that move you closer to what you imagined. Think about it this way. Human beings are wired to visualize. It's part of our survival system. Long before smartphones and skyscrapers, our ancestors had to imagine hunting strategies, shelter designs, or ways to navigate dangerous terrain. They rehearsed these scenarios in their minds before they acted them out. That mental rehearsal became a tool for survival, and it still lives within us today. Visualization is not some modern self-help hack. It's an ancient neurological advantage. Deep inside your brain lies a system that makes this possible, the reticular activating system, or RAS. Think of it as your brain's gatekeeper. Every second, you're bombarded with millions of bits of information. The sound of traffic outside, the hum of your phone, the smell of your coffee. You can't possibly process it all, so your RAS decides what to focus on. And here's the fascinating part. It filters based on what you tell it is important. When you visualize something over and over, your RAS begins to notice patterns and signals that align with that vision. It's like tuning your brain's antenna to the right frequency. But the RAS doesn't work alone. Every time you visualize, you're also carving out neural pathways, connections between brain cells that strengthen with repetition. The more vividly you imagine, the more real those pathways become, until your brain treats the vision as a lived memory. Over time, this shifts your subconscious programming, the habits, beliefs, and automatic behaviors that guide most of your daily actions. In simple terms, your brain begins to act as if your vision is already happening. Athletes know this secret well. Take Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time. Before every race, he didn't just train his body, he trained his mind. He would lie in bed at night and imagine every stroke of the swim, every turn, every breath. He even visualized things going wrong, like his goggles filling with water, so his brain would know how to respond calmly if it happened in real life. And it did. In the 2008 Olympics, during the 200-meter butterfly final, his goggles flooded. But he kept going. His mind had already rehearsed the victory. He won gold, even blind in the water. That's not magic. That's neuroscience. And it's the same power that exists in your brain right now. So here's the question. If visualization can shape the way your brain filters the world, strengthens pathways, and influences behavior, how does it actually bridge the gap between imagination and physical reality? How does a thought become something you can touch, see, or live? That's where things get fascinating. In part 1, we uncovered how visualization isn't just daydreaming. It's a powerful tool rooted in the way your brain works. We explored how the reticular activating system filters your reality, how neural pathways strengthen with repetition, and how athletes like Michael Phelps harnessed visualization to win gold. But the real question is this: what exactly happens inside your brain when you visualize? Let's step into the science. When you close your eyes and imagine your future, your reticular activating system, or RAS, wakes up like a guard standing at the gates of your mind. Every second, it's drowning in information: colors, sounds, faces, words, numbers. But your brain can't process everything, so the RAS decides what matters. And here's the secret: it only cares about what you tell it to care about. Visualization is like handing the RAS a VIP list. The more vividly you picture your goals, the more your brain starts spotting clues, opportunities, and resources you might have ignored before. Think of your brain like a GPS. If you never set a destination, you'll wander aimlessly. But the moment you type in the address, the system begins plotting the best route. Visualization sets that mental address, giving your RAS the signal to lock on and steer you toward it. Suddenly, you notice a book that sparks an idea, a chance meeting that leads to a connection, or an opportunity that seemed invisible before. It wasn't magic. It was your brain, filtering reality according to the vision you fed it. But the RAS is only the beginning. Behind the scenes, another force comes alive: dopamine, the brain's motivation molecule. Each time you imagine yourself achieving something, dopamine gives you a taste of the reward. It's like a preview of success. Your brain releases this chemical, making you feel excited, energized, and driven. This is why visualization can transform laziness into momentum. Your brain begins to crave the real experience to match the imagined one. Scientists call this reward anticipation, the same mechanism that drives athletes to push harder or musicians to practice for hours. Visualization doesn't just inspire hope. It sparks the biological fuel of motivation. And then comes the most powerful process of all, neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you visualize, you fire up neurons in the same patterns as if you were performing the action in real life. The saying, "neurons that fire together, wire together," explains this perfectly. With repetition, these mental rehearsals create stronger connections, like carving a trail through a forest. At first, it's faint and difficult to walk through. But the more you travel that path, the clearer it becomes, until it transforms into a solid road. Visualization lays down those roads in your brain, preparing you to act with confidence when the real moment arrives. Sports psychology has proven this over and over. In one famous study, basketball players were divided into groups. One practiced free throws physically, another practiced only in their minds, and a third did nothing. After weeks of training, the players who only visualized improved almost as much as those who physically practiced. Their brains had rehearsed the movement so vividly that their performance in reality caught up. But it doesn't stop with athletes. Neuroscience studies show that patients recovering from injuries who visualize themselves moving a limb can speed up their healing process. Even in personal growth, visualization has been shown to build confidence, reduce anxiety, and shift limiting beliefs. When you repeatedly see yourself succeeding in your mind, your subconscious starts to believe it's possible. And when belief shifts, behavior follows. You show up differently. You take risks you once avoided. You push through challenges you used to back down from. This is why manifestation isn't about wishing and waiting. It's about aligning your brain to see possibilities, building the motivation to act, and rewiring yourself to believe in your own capacity. Science proves that consistent visualization strengthens your confidence like a muscle. And that confidence often makes the difference between giving up and breaking through. So the next time someone calls manifestation woo-woo, remember this. Your brain is literally designed to turn imagination into preparation and preparation into reality. But here's the exciting part. Knowing the science is only half the story. The real question is, how can you use these techniques every single day to manifest faster, stronger, and with more clarity than ever before? In part 2, we uncovered the science. Your brain is already wired to make visualization powerful. The reticular activating system filters your world. Dopamine fuels your drive, and neuroplasticity rewires your mind with every repetition. But now comes the most important part. How do you use this knowledge in your daily life to turn imagination into reality? The truth is, visualization isn't about sitting back and daydreaming. It's about training your brain with intention. It's a practice. And like any practice, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. One powerful method is mental rehearsal. This is the same technique Olympic athletes use before stepping onto the field or into the pool. To practice, close your eyes and run through your goal in your mind as if it's already happening. If your dream is giving a speech, imagine yourself walking on stage, hearing the applause, and delivering each word with confidence. Don't just see it, feel it. Notice the weight of the microphone, the steadiness in your breath, the smile on your face. The richer the details, the more your brain accepts the vision as real. Another tool is guided imagery. Here, you listen to a recording or script that walks you through a visualization step by step. Science shows that guided imagery activates the same brain regions as lived experience, amplifying the effect. This is especially powerful if you're new to visualization and want a roadmap for your mind. Then there's scripting, writing down your vision as if it's already come true. For example, I wake up each morning excited for the life I've built. I run my own business. I feel confident, successful, and free. When you write in the present tense, your subconscious mind begins to absorb it as truth. Studies on journaling reveal that this simple act of putting words to emotions and goals strengthens clarity and belief. Closely tied to scripting is future journaling. This practice invites you to step into tomorrow and write about your day as if you've already reached your goal. Picture yourself 6 months or a year ahead. What does your routine look like? Who are you with? How do you feel? The brain processes these imagined scenarios like memories, and those memories of the future begin shaping the actions you take in the present. But visualization doesn't end in your mind. Action is the bridge that carries your vision into reality. Science proves that taking even the smallest steps reinforces the neural pathways you've been building. Imagine your brain as a construction site. Visualization lays the blueprint, but action is the brick and mortar. Without action, the blueprint stays on paper. With action, the structure begins to rise. Consider the story of Jim Carrey. Long before he was a household name, he wrote himself a check for $10 million, post-dated it, and visualized cashing it for acting services rendered. He carried it in his wallet as a daily reminder. Years later, he received a movie deal for exactly that amount. Was it magic? Or was it that his constant visualization fueled his belief, which fueled his actions, which eventually aligned him with opportunity? Science leans toward the latter. Or take the countless athletes, performers, and entrepreneurs who've spoken openly about their visualization rituals. Serena Williams has admitted to rehearsing her wins mentally before every match. Arnold Schwarzenegger visualized his success in bodybuilding and film long before Hollywood called. Each story carries the same pattern. A vision so deeply rehearsed it became second nature, paired with relentless action that brought it to life. So how can you begin today? Start small. Set aside 5 minutes every morning. Close your eyes and imagine one goal in detail. Then, write it down in your journal as if it has already happened. Throughout your day, take one small action that aligns with that vision. It could be sending an email, making a call, practicing your craft, anything that moves you forward. With repetition, your brain begins to rewire. The vision you once held in your mind starts showing up in your reality. The science is clear. Visualization primes your brain. Dopamine fuels your motivation. Action solidifies the pathways. Together, they create a cycle of belief, confidence, and results. Manifestation isn't a mystery anymore. It's a partnership between mind and matter, between thought and effort, between science and spirit. And so the next step is yours. Try it today. Visualize. Write. Act. Repeat. Watch as your brain begins to filter opportunities you never noticed before, as your confidence grows, and as your reality starts to shift. Because in the end, the power isn't out there, it's already inside you. Your mind is the architect, your brain is the blueprint, and your reality is waiting to be built, one vision at a time.